So I like to consider this podcast, a pretty inclusive. We're for men, women, not really so much children, but old, young. But I would like to start out this podcast with something just for the boys, okay? All the ladies right now, you skip ahead 5-10 minutes. You don't need to hear this.
That was nice of you. Yeah, knock it out right away.
Yeah. So, all the ladies are gone. Just skip on. You guys watch The Bachelor this week?
No.
Why would you get rid of The Bachelor? Or why would you get rid of the ladies for this?
This is a boys. TikTok. It was like the TikTok trend of start talking about. Okay.
Yeah. No, this is just for the boys only. It's a boys discussion about The Bachelor.
To answer your question,
I actually did watch it.
Okay, good. So,
which I never do, and I only watched the first episode.
I've never seen a full episode of The Bachelor, and I'm not even saying because you're kind of a wuss if you watch it. Nah, I just never seen it.
You want to know why I did? Because one of my girlfriend's friend, was on The Bachelor. So I was like, well, shit.
Oh, really?
I'll watch it with you. So she had it on, so I was like, well, I'll sit down and watch it. It's pretty cool. Like someone you know and is on The Bachelor from Fargo.
So what ended up happening there?
And also, before anybody listening home that goes, I don't want to hear the boys talk about The Bachelor, it's basically 30 chicks trying to fuck one dude. It's great. It's great TV. Like when you look at it that way, it's pretty cool to watch. You just watch one of your good imaginary friends just living the dream.
I haven't watched a single episode of it, but I've heard pretty good things about it from a lot of guys.
It was good. I thought.
How many seasons? Ken, look up how many seasons The Bachelor or The Bachelorette has been going.
The current season is season 27.
Oh my! Wow.
And they do like Bachelorette.
So that'd be 27 years basically. It's been going on, wouldn't it?
Crap. Yeah.
And
because they only do one a year, don't they?
Yeah,
they do The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, and The Bachelor in Paradise.
Oh.
And The Bachelorette is on season 19.
Wow. But it must be.
When did it start, Ken?
There's a shitload of shitty dating shows out there. Like
they've,
a lot.
They've modeled so many after it, too. Like, I remember Flavor of Love when I was a kid. And they'd like Flavor of Love. The Hard Rock with Chris. Fucking Kid Rock, I mean. Kid Rock.
Well, what about the one that my buddy Jace got?
Too Hot to Handle?
Yeah.
There's so many. Love Island,
Yeah.
F-Boy
Or maybe
Island.
it was Love Island. I don't know. It was something, though, that they hit him
probably
up.
F-Boy Island.
Yeah, it might have been that. But they were when Jace called me and was like, dude, I just got hit up by this talent agency that was like, we're looking for candidates for this show. I was like, bro, you got to play into just being the biggest douchebag. We were like, bro, you got to just play into that character so you get a spot on it, because they're obviously looking for like the most extremes.
Right.
That's why I was very interested that the chick from Fargo got one of the spots. So how did that? Well, one, how did she get the spot, and two, what ended up happening?
Honestly, so when I found out that she was going to be on it, I've never even talked to this girl, but I was telling Alex, I was like, she needs to like either go on there and like be one side or the other, like polar op, like either be like the bad girl or the like sweetheart, because it's always like they seem to pitch people against each other, and those people make it the furthest, and then they almost get their own show after it.
And if you're in the middle, they don't even show you.
You don't stand out. Yeah, you got to stand out on one end of the spectrum is kind of what I was telling her, which I don't even think
she did that.
I don't think she told her or anything like that, but I'm sure she already knew. Moral of the story is like she came in, and honestly, I feel bad for her because like a lot of this stuff I'm pretty sure is so set up. Like like I was watching all the shots, and as like someone who makes a video every week, I was like, that was so set up. Like you don't just have like these,
Still reality
These
TV.
natural scenes happening.
But she kind of got depicted as like they chopped it up and didn't make her look like by any means like awesome. I thought they were like setting her up to be kind of like the antagonist of that whole season, and then the guy just like let her go first night. So like they just kind of made her look bad, and then
I feel like you're beating around the bush here. Ryan, what was your take on it?
Well, so CJ is definitely right. Her intro was like, up in Fargo, we say oofda and oofda. Like
they were all cringy. They were all cringy.
They were. That's a tough position for the girl to be in and stuff like that. And that they were like, oh, they say oofda up there. You need to say that. And she's like, okay, well, I got to make the show, whatever.
Into it.
So she does that, and she kind of had like an iffy one-on-one. It's a difficult scenario for sure. Then after that, things kind of started to twist, and you could tell they were probably trying to feed her like, oh, you need to be pushy. You're out here getting what you want. You're from a hardworking area. You go and get what you want. So she starts doing that. And then it appeared in the show. You know, I'm watching. I'm excited. I'm like, North Dakota get represented, all that. It appeared as if she started to get really drunk. I'm not sure if she did, but they run them all night and they're drinking and whatnot. And then he's talking to another girl and she's like, I'm going to go interrupt them.
Okay.
Which I think is like a no-no. It was
Yeah.
kind of weird. So she goes, interrupts them, and then they cut to her doing like a side interview, and she's like, I'm going to get what I want. I want a kiss. I'm going to go after it. So she interrupts the conversation, which was really awkward. And then they gritty together, which turned into quite a meme.
The whole
like whatever.
No.
To be fair, she was depicted very cringily, but every single girl on there, the whole thing is cringy. That's like part of the whole
That's
show.
part of the show.
You know, that's the whole shtick of it. So I'm sure they were kind of like setting her up to it.
100%. So then she goes in and kind of does this thing, and she kind of forces a kiss on the guy, and the guy was just not having it.
Yeah, it was really strange.
And I don't know if that was her, the show, whatever. I'm watching. I'm just like, ooh, wow, this is just not going well.
No.
After that, all the other girls are like, holy shit, what's this chick doing? Then eventually after that,
she was the main character of the first episode.
she was. She made that episode.
She made the whole episode by far better. By far
Exactly.
better, which is what I was and when I was watching it, I'm
surprised
just like,
they didn't keep her around.
That's what I'm saying. When I was watching it,
Yeah.
I was like she's doing an awesome job because you're standing out. That's basically what you need to do. If you're going to get an opportunity like this,
Yeah, you
you got to
stand out.
stand out.
Yeah.
You know?
So-
I was thinking she was doing a great job.
100%. So that happened. She goes, that didn't sit well with the guy. Then she kind of goes off, cried a little bit, appeared
Like
to maybe
on
even get a
camera and
little
stuff.
bit more drunk, did a couple interviews where it didn't go so well and whatever.
Alex thought she was fake crying.
Okay.
So
that is interesting.
Like I don't, and honestly, who knows? You know.
So then
But
she
doesn't-
goes,
To be clear, Alex does not know anything. She hasn't asked her.
okay. And then she goes and interrupts a third time in this.
Same guy.
The guy
couple.
talking to the other guy before the rose ceremony. She comes up and goes, listen, I'm here for what I want. All this kind of just lays it all in line. She goes, am I getting a rose tonight? And he was like, nah, no, you're not getting a rose.
Like
I've got
literally
like
just
30.
turned her away.
Yep, and he was, super nice. Pretty awkward position to be in for all of them. And then she just kind of like walked off, which I'm sure was part of the show.
Kind of crying and stuff.
Yeah,
It was
and
like this big dramatic walk off.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
But I feel like it was like a setup. I kind of feel like she was put onto this. You kind of can push your own way, but then they are producing it. So behind the scenes, they're like, "Oh, go do."
Yeah, they're making
that's
good
how
TV.
It works. That's
they're
how it
trying
works.
to make good TV.
And
At the expense
honestly,
of this.
it's weird because if she wouldn't have gotten let go, she would have been, I guarantee you, to the end because it was like the main character. So I don't know why he let her go, or if maybe that was just a the producers like play and like, we're gonna have this first episode absolutely crazy, and then boom, throw everyone for a twist, and she's gone first episode, which is another thing, because it's like, it was very engaging. It was very
100%.
Yeah, if she's interrupting three
Oh,
times, I
dude,
feel
it
like
was
maybe the
crazy. Yeah, it
last
was
interruption might have been the one that put him over the edge of being uncomfortable
don't
versus
know,
the
dude.
producers being like,
it was never
I
going
just
from the
feel
start.
like it's all just a big scripted show, personally.
dude,
So yeah, when I was watching it, I think she went in there and she's like, okay, I don't know if I'm gonna make it to the end. They started down that road and she's like, I'm going all in on this, and they worked out a deal. And now she's gonna come back in one of the later episodes.
No,
they
you
do
think
where
so?
they
I
pull
don't think
people
so,
back
but-
in
They
do that?
are like the villains or people that got let go early that have a story. So I think she went in, negotiated back. I mean, she owns a marketing agency. Like, she's smart. Comes in, negotiates a bag to embarrass herself, comes back later in the
Yeah.
season, and then redeems herself and goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, I did all this.
I got
just
drunk
was,
or
I was
something."
emotional,
Yeah.
all that." Comes back, redeems her personality, redeems herself with the guy, and then maybe even continues on.
oh my gosh,
I mean, if that's
Yeah,
the case,
I don't know.
that'd
I
be
don't know
brilliant.
about that,
that
but
that was brilliant. If not, they better be listening to this right now, being like, "Holy shit, we need to get this
Hire
guy
this
on
guy."
the team."
she definitely got chopped up as the villain of the first episode, or like the crazier girl. But
100%.
the only thing that like really bugged me about the whole thing was that all these. So I'm so friends with all these people that are Fargo locals or whatever, and they were on like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, just like bashing her, and I was
I
just
know.
like
They
they're
don't
just like
get it,
talking
man.
shit and all this. I'm like, What? It very much so irked me because I feel bad for her in that regard because it's like you go and you try to get something going, and whenever you're doing anything, maybe it's probably not just like Fargo or these smaller town Midwest areas. Probably happens a lot of other places, but like whenever someone tries to do anything other than the norm and it doesn't work out, everyone bashes them and tries to make fun of them when like they're just sitting at home the whole time, not trying anything new, not trying to like
Watching them.
different. Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of like, I don't know. It just irks me that she's getting bashed by like other people. And to be clear, I've never even said a word to her. I didn't even know that she was friends with Alex until she said that. But yeah, I feel bad for her in that regard because it also is really easy to like make someone look bad through the power of editing, or make someone look really good. Or
we kind of know from a little experience about reality TV, and now we like know more, is that sometimes the group, let's say it's a group of us that were so stoked to be on the show that the producer gives them a really dope role. And so they're stoked. They're like, yeah, I'm going to go be the badass or be the funny guy. And then some people get a really bad role and they still like play it out because they're getting the
like,
bag.
this is your only option
They're
too.
getting
It's
paid.
like,
Like, okay, but you have to play like a dweeb and you have to say stupid stuff you
That's
don't want to
part of
say,
it,
but you have to make it look like it's you saying it.
And that's what I think happened to her. And I think, to go with CJ's thing, I think people from around here got way too tore up about it. So
Yeah.
for everybody else who isn't from around here, she got like shit on Facebook. And I was like,
from just like
local
literally people that went to school with
That
her.
are
like
like,
I think
"She's
she was
making
like
us look
a
bad,"
couple
or
grades
yeah.
above me.
that was the biggest thing, is like she made Fargo look so bad. I'm
No,
like,
she
I
didn't.
never associate a character with a town. Like
No.
that's just kind of like a maybe a little too self-centered of something to think, you know, like I don't think anybody really cares.
And
And I
she's
think
getting-
people should be nice to her because,
agree.
you know, it was
Good
like,
for her for going out and trying something.
Yeah,
and
fuck yeah.
If you're a hater and you haven't done shit, you don't have any right to hate.